Hi there, this is Mike from rural Appalachia. Today I'd like to speak to the youth, the young adults, and even the parents of those children that still reside within Appalachia. Appalachians have always taken a very bad rap because basically people have this misunderstanding that we are so stupid we cannot tie our own shoelaces. Well, guess what? We can tie our own shoelaces. Now, that's just a little joke to go around. People from Appalachia know what I'm talking about. Or they think that we're all moonshiners, or, we can't read, we can't write, we can't add 2 and 2 that equals 93. Oops, I guess that is 4, isn't it, folks? But anyway, they just see us as really dumb, stupid, illiterate, white Americans that are awful in them there mountains somewhere. Well, let me tell you, folks, there's some very intelligent people from Appalachia, believe it or not. And today, I've decided I want to talk to the youth of Appalachia. Now, my wife Jean and I have been traveling around for the last 20 years. We own Bulldog Concessions and Ministry, where Jesus loves the underdog. Yes, we are a Christian business, but I'm not here to discuss religion and things like that today. I'm here to discuss education. Now, in our past 20 years, we have had folks come up to us, from little teeny babies, and we watch them grow on up to young adulthood and everything. Next thing you know, they're bringing their kids around. So we know we're getting old. In fact, we are getting old, but we still feel young at heart. But the thing of it is that whenever I get the chance, or the door is open with one of the young folk that we encounter out on the circuit, usually education, I will always bring that aspect up, and I'll say, hey, you still in school? And I'll say, yeah. I'll say, well, what grade are you in? I'll say, I'm a sophomore. I said, okay, so you got 2 more years of high school, right? Yeah, I guess. What do you mean, you guess? Yeah, I got 2 more years. I said, what do you plan on doing with your life once you graduate? I don't know, get a job. Well, have you thought about what kind of a job you'd like to have? And some of them will say, yeah, I want a good paying job. I said, well, I guess you're going to have to go to college then to get that, or at least go to tech school. I say, how do you know? I said, oh, I've been around a long time. I read the news. I listen to the news. I do it daily, sometimes 3 and 4 times a day, just to try to keep up on everything that's moving around this fast-paced old world of ours. I say, okay, did you know that since you're a product of Appalachia, there is a huge move on to educate the youth and even the adults in Appalachia? There are all kinds of scholarships, there's grants, there's loans, all kinds of assistance and financial aid. It used to be that one minority or another minority pretty well had that all tied up. They no longer have that. The government, for some reason, decided, well, they want to educate anybody that's in or comes from Appalachia. And their main thing is they want to get all of us off the welfare rolls. You all know how that goes. We all so dumb we can't even write our own name. So here, Sally, Johnny, Billy, Bobby, Bobo, Chucky Baby, or Dumbo, we're just going to write you a check every month. We're going to give you $500 a month, buddy. Yes, sir. You know what? That $500 is coming out of the taxpayer's pocket. And if you've ever worked a job, it's coming out of your pocket too. A lot of people are happy with that. They can have babies and they get paid for babies. Or even when they get married, if neither one of them can find a job, let alone hold a job, they can get welfare assistance. Now, don't take me wrong on this. I think the welfare system is a great program. I've known a lot of wonderful people who have been on it. Sometimes they've been on it longer than they ever planned on being on it. Sometimes they've only been on it for a little bit. And, most of them will say, hey, Mike, I'm glad I'm off there now. I don't have anybody nose stuck up my behind, telling me what I can do and what I can't do. If I make $500 a week, I don't have to tell anybody how much I make other than Uncle Sam. When I fill out my income taxes, I don't have a caseworker saying, hey, you been working? And if you've been working, how much you making? You know you can't work when you're on welfare. And then the old butts in the sleeve and more problems evolve. So anyway, as I'm speaking to these kids, I stress the importance of education. Year before last, when I was doing one of the local county fairs around here, and I say local, anywhere within 50 miles or so, my wife wasn't there that day. She wasn't feeling well, so I was just running the booth by myself. And we sell T-shirts and jewelry and hats and all kinds of good stuff like that that people like. And this beautiful young lady walked up, and she was looking at our nice display of jewelry that we would carry. And of course, I started a conversation with her because that's my job, is to sell jewelry or T-shirts. Got to talking to her, and there I found out that she'd been the previous fair queen year before. I said, oh, you were? She said, yeah. I said, well, what are you doing with your life now? She said, well, I'm going to college. I said, oh, you are? She said, yeah. I said, well, what are you studying? She said, I'm in pre-veterinary medicine. I go to the Ohio State University Extension up in Newark. I said, oh, wow. She said, oh, yeah. She said, it's an awesome program. She said, I went up there, she said, because they have a specific program geared to what I'm going into, which is, pre-veterinary medicine, and then on into vet school and stuff like that. I said, oh, that's why you're not going to OUZ or somewhere, here in town, Zanes, Trace, whatever. She said, no. She said, they don't carry the specific programs that it calls for my bachelor's degree and everything. I said, oh, okay. I said, how you doing in school? She said, I'm doing real good. She said, she said, I always wanted to go to college. She said, now our family owns a farm and we have cattle and stuff like that, and Mom and Dad both work. She said, but we didn't have enough money to put me through school because, college is extremely expensive. I said, so how'd you end up in school? She said, well, back early in high school, she said, thank God I had a guidance counselor that was busy cluing all us kids in on the programs available to Appalachian youth. I said, oh, you mean all the grants and the scholarships and stuff? She said, yeah. She told us we had to really keep our grades up, and as long as we kept our grades up and got into some extracurricular activities, we should not have a problem whatsoever of getting scholarships or grants or anything like that. I said, well, did it work? She said, yeah. She said, it sure did work. She said, believe it or not. She said, I haven't had the least bit of problem. She said, in fact, I keep getting more offers than what I really need. She said, you know what? I said, what? She said, I'm even getting paid to go to school. I said, oh, wow. She said, yeah. She said, granted, she said, it's not that much. She said, but at least, she said, now in the summer, if I don't want to go to college, she said, I work through the summer and put that money back, for my living expenses and stuff, so I have a little extra money. She said, but other than that, she said, I'm not doing bad. She said, I've got a decent car that gets me back and forth every day. She said, and if I need help, Mom and Dad can always help me, but could never afford the college education that I'm seeking. I said, well, have you spoken to the other kids that you went to high school with? She said, every chance I get. I said, what's most of them doing around here? She said, nothing. I said, oh, they're shooting her regular. Nothing, right? She said, absolutely. She said, oh, some of them's gotten pregnant, had babies. She said, some of them's gotten married, got pregnant, had babies. I said, well, how are they and their husbands, how their family doing? She said, treading water. I said, not going anywhere fast, right? She said, nope. She said, and I doubt they ever will because they're just stuck in this mode. I said, oh. I said, well, at least you're one of the smart kids that decided you didn't want to be in this mode anymore, right? She looked at me, she said, yes, sir. She said, that's correct. I thought, well, isn't that grand? So anyway, what I'm saying in essence today is, kids, look, they want to give you an education. They're begging you to take the money. bring them grades up. You don't need to make D's and F's. If if you keep a C average, try to keep it a little bit above a C. You'll be doing very, very well. Now what? I know you didn't know I was doing this.